finally all those other projects are gone and I can go back to work on the 383. They had all the engine stands tied up and I couldn't work on it. Normally I would do some things on the block instead of starting with the cylinders, but this way I could get this out of the way and we could finish those other projects. But they're gone, so everything's good. So I start with the cylinders this time, and I know you're screaming because it doesn't have a torque plate on it, but this is just a stock rebuild. Everything's going to be fine. It's not going to blow up or anything like that. It's going to work out just fine. But, so I'm about to get done. I think I've only got a half a thou to go on this hole, so 15 or 20 strokes will probably get it where I want it. Straight up is 0. So it looks like it's 2/10 big on the top, 1/10 big on the bottom. That's good enough for you, isn't it? Couple of tenths, you happy with that? All right, I'll do the rest of the holes then. I've got the cylinders honed and I put a plateau finish on them, and I forgot to put the cone in here to chamfer these cylinders, but I will. I'll remember to do that in a little bit. I'll put that in the video too. But now I called one of my cronies and he's going to come over and help me deck it. And the reason we're decking it is it's got some rust here, some corrosion, and would that seal with a Fel-Pro gasket and some copper coat? Yes, I think it would. I think it'd be fine. But do you want to risk it? No, I don't guess I do. So we're going to cut the decks and get rid of this corrosion. But then I remembered after I told him to come on that I've got to take these dowel pins out, which in the old days, that's no problem. These dowel pins have only been in 5 or 6 years. They'll come on out, no big deal. Well, it's been a little while. I think this block is 56 years old. And I doubt these have ever been out. This was standard bore block, probably first run. So, they're not going to want to come out, let's be honest. But I tried to stack the deck in my favor. I've got a couple of new things that I'm going to try. One of them, we've discussed in the past how these collets work when you slide them over, when a collet grabs onto something. And the collets that come in the set are for regular collets, like 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8. Problem is, Mopar dowel pins are 246 instead of a 1/4. Well, that makes it hard for a 1/4 inch collet to grab onto them. You know, being too small, they're going to have to squeeze down more, and you're just going to get more of a bite on the end out here than you are because you had to squeeze past 250 thousandths. So the good folks at Goodson's, those are wonderful people, made me a special Mopar collet, a 246 instead of 250. So I'm planning on that giving me a better grip. And I bought a more powerful induction heater, which the other ones should have done fine. It just takes longer, but I wanted to do everything I could. So we're going to heat it up first and then use this collet instead of a 250, and I'm hoping for good things. These dowel pins aren't very long. You don't have much of it in the coil. I realize that's going to hurt us a little bit. But this thing's sure not heating it up any better than the last one. I think this thing's a dog. I mean, I can smell something. I know it's doing something. Boy, it's taking forever. I wonder if I've got one, electrodes or whatever you call those, with a tighter wrap. This thing's definitely a dog. I don't know if that thing's even bubbling that honing oil down there. I'm going to go back to my old one, see if it works any better. This one's split. Now I realize that dowel pin's not very tall, and I realize our loop here is a little big, but I just expected better. This thing's taking forever. Of course, these induction heaters won't work on stainless steel, but these dowel pins aren't stainless. You can see the coil glowing red, but the dowel pin's not glowing red. Oh, this may be a bad day. I don't know what to do when it glows red like that. Now the dowel pin is starting to glow. That new one's a dog, and I paid double money for it. I don't know what to do. I think I should let this. It's glowing a little. When your coils get red like that, I don't know if it's okay to keep going or not. Usually the nut or the plug or whatever is bigger than this, and it starts glowing. Oh boy, let's try it. I don't know what else to do. Since I've already told my buddy to come down here, I don't know, I feel bad if I'm not going to be ready for him. Oh, that's not good, is it? Let's try it again. Now we're back to normal, where you got to get the welder out, weld a nut on it, weld another coupling nut on it, and then take it out with a slide hammer. I was all excited about having new tools that were going to do the job. But I've got nothing. Thank you, viewer, whatever your name was. You know who you are, because a year or two ago when I was fighting dowel pins, you told me that try lapping compound. I tried the fine, actually. So, valve lapping compound. He said put it on there and get a better grip or something. I didn't know if it'd work or not. Actually, I think I tried it once, and I think it may have helped me, but I didn't want to get that welder out. I can't buy coupling nuts the right length. I got to make them all myself. I'm too lazy for all that. But after I bought it with my new toys, by the way, I did get one of them out, but I thought, you know, I'm going to try that. So I used the fine, and I got a little swab and swabbed it on the dowel pin and put it in the collet too. And the first one came out first try, and the other two I had to fight for my life, but it worked. Thank you, viewer. We're going to cut it 10 thousandths and then take a look and see how the pitting looks around that number 7 cylinder. That's the only place where there was any pitting to speak of. But we'll cut it 10 and see if it looks good enough. It took all that pitting out of the deck surface with a 10 thousandths cut. So I'm totally happy. Even though we're not going to be using MLS gaskets on this build, just in case we'll go ahead and I should have had this thing set up where it would give us a smooth enough finish for MLS. But let's see what we got. Everything should be fine and wonderful. RA54. Well, I missed it a little bit. They want 50 or lower RA. But that's okay. We're not going to be using MLS anyway. Just for fun, I sprayed this side with WD-40 to see if that changes anything about what the profilometer gives us after we make the cut. The other was 54, and MLS Cometic wants 50 or lower. So let's see if this makes any difference. Okay, just for fun, we're going to see if spraying the deck with WD-40 helped on getting a little different finish. I've had a couple that were a little over 50 before, and I don't know. I could slow it down a little more, but I've already slowed it down quite a bit. .51. Didn't change much.